It's called the greenhouse effect, and it's an ongoing process that is happening right here in Colorado. And environmental specialist Steve Anderson tells us it's a process that could have a major effect on Mother Nature and our weather in the future.
Stephanie, you've probably heard people say everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. That may not be entirely true. Colorado's weather in the next century will be somewhat different than it is in 1983, and people will be changing it. Imagine Denver with more 100-degree days, less snow in the mountains, and imagine less moisture for Colorado agriculture. Recent studies indicate these changes from the so-called greenhouse effect are unavoidable. The problem is carbon dioxide, a seemingly harmless gas. It's necessary for photosynthesis, the process which makes plants grow. It exists naturally in our environment at very low levels, but because of our use of fossil fuels for generation of electricity, for heating our homes, and for our cars, there has been a definite increase in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. In high enough concentrations, it produces a greenhouse effect. Of course, the name comes from a greenhouse, and the principle is quite simple. The glass lets sunlight through to heat up the area inside, while at the same time, that glass keeps the accumulated heat in here from escaping. On a larger scale, it works like this. The accumulating carbon dioxide works like the glass in a greenhouse. Sunlight, which is relatively shortwave energy, is able to pass right through the layer of carbon dioxide, in turn warming the Earth. But when the heat is radiated back from the Earth, there's a different effect. These longer infrared rays aren't able to pass back through the carbon dioxide, warming not only the gas, but also the ground. For Colorado, the greenhouse effect may mean milder winters and longer and hotter summers.
Now that may seem like a simple statement, but it does have some substantial implications for people in Colorado.
Dr. Starley Thompson has been working with other scientists here on Table Mesa in Boulder at the National Center for Atmospheric Research. Two of the most sophisticated computers in the world are being put to use. Using a process scientists call modeling, researchers say the temperature may raise, on average, 5 degrees by the year 2065. The prospect is for less snow in the mountains, which could mean a severe shortage of water. There are pros and cons for agriculture. Longer, drier summers would mean a longer growing season, but less moisture for growing the crops.
One particular implication for city dwellers, other than the fact that there may be a shortage of water, is the fact that we will have an increased likelihood of extreme high temperatures. For example, if we have X number of 95-degree days now, we are likely to have the same number of 100-degree days 100 years from now. This has substantial implications for the health of people, particularly those who are sick or infirm at the moment.
It's important to stress that these changes won't be happening all at once, but studies indicate that even if we stopped burning fossil fuels altogether, the result would only be delayed. Steve Anderson, environmental specialist, News Center 4.